Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another week of the Jobsticker's Jobseeker live resource show. Today on LinkedIn. Again, every Tuesday at 2 on Facebook, every Wednesday at 2 on LinkedIn. So appreciate you joining. And again, this will be posted on YouTube after the call. And I'm going to do something that I did similar to yesterday's Facebook Live, which was to answer a few questions on Quora. Quora, if you're not sure what that is a website similar to Reddit where you can do Q&A and essentially people just any question under the sun you can ask and experts will try to weigh in. And so I try to pride myself on doing a few answers every night just to kind of give back and offer that free guidance for people that are out there and on their job hunt and in transitions that might be struggling. So without further ado, I'm going to try to share the screen. Let's see. Okay, it didn't go well yesterday with my Facebook because, of course, Facebook had a wonky type setup. But here we go. I think it's on there. Let's hope. So here, first question here. Has anyone ever submitted a cover letter, ever been hired? Manny Appia. So Manny, yes. There have been many people who have been hired by submitting a cover letter. So the thing with cover letters is it's a necessary evil. You should have one in your arsenal, your toolkit of your marketing materials, along with the resume and follow-up letter, things like that. But the cover letter is a mandate for half the people out there. Half the hiring managers want to see it, and the other half that aren't worried about them, they'll just not open it. So take the time to build a cover letter that you can show your value and show why you're a brand advocate or how you can resolve a pain point or what makes you a standout candidate for that role. So for the half the people out there that mandate cover letters as a way to even look and vet you prior to even seeing the resume, you got to have it. And I know for fact, I had some hiring managers who wanted to see cover letter. Way to kind of get a gauge of what your pros, what your thoughts is, what your thoughts are, your pros style, how you communicate, all that good stuff. So get a cover letter. Second here, how do you list work experience with the same duties on a resume? Okay, first, you don't write duties on a resume. You write accomplishments, you write value offerings, you write bottom line impacts. My setup is I'm a firm believer of 3 different things that can go into a sentence for a resume under the experience section. You take a duty. Let's just say you are responsible for the communications at your firm. You're responsible for putting out the newsletter every month for all the people, all the employees. Okay, so you don't want to just say produce newsletter for employees on a monthly basis. You want to say something like, strengthened communications and information traceability by producing a 6-page monthly newsletter for 300 cross-functional employees. And this is just me spitballing. Obviously, I would tweak a little bit of everything I say when I'm just trying to throw out sentences. But so just the idea, though, is what was the problem? And if there's no problem, that's fine. What was the action to solve that problem? Or just in general, what was the action you'd taken, your task? That's your action. But what was the result of that task? What was the result of that action? That's kind of the mentality you got to have. So when I write my sentences, there's 3 structures. 3 ways of thinking for the sentence structure. A, is it relate to the job you are targeting? If it relates to the job you are targeting, make sure you write a sentence that will get the readers excited and will resonate with them because they're hiring for that type of role. And you are letting them know, hey, this task I did, this accomplishment I did relates to this job I'm going after. I'm going to leave that on there. Second, is there a metric? I can quantify any statement out there. That's something I pride myself on, and most resume writers can. And quantify, by that I mean, reduce waste, improve profits, streamline efficiency, build revenue, build teams. There are ways that you are doing your function each day that are quantifiable. There's ways to quantify that stuff to make it known that it's bottom line impact type of statement, but even without having a number. So you want to have ones that are KPI based, ones that are metric kind of related and quantifiable. That's your second kind of statement. And then the third one are just really neat, really cool stories, ones that are just really like an award, or maybe you were a presenter at a conference in your industry, or you saved an underperforming client, or you know, mentored someone who went on to take over the company, or whatever. Just really neat stories that you're like, oh, this would resonate with readers because it's just unique. It makes me. It makes Matt. How do I work? What are my unique selling? What's my unique selling proposition? What's my value offerings? Hey, Mr. Manager, hire manager, look at me. I'm so valuable at this type of work. And here are my wins. Here are my successes. Here are my accomplishments that either relate to them, have a number attached, or are really cool. Finally, how do I list Latin honors on a resume? So when you are listing any sort of education, a lot of times I'll see it can either get blown out of proportion in terms of like, you know, using way too much space and listing everything under the sun. I only list coursework if it's someone who's in a career change and that's all they really have done for the new job is like some training. Let's get some of that stuff because now you're understanding some of the concepts and the buzzwords and what they mean in that industry. Let's get that on there. Or if they're early career, I'll keep the coursework on. Someone who's just, you know, entry level coming up. But in this case, for this particular question, how I would do it, I would put, let's just, you know, obviously customize it to what you have done, but I would put Bachelor of Arts, comma, Latin, parentheses, cum laude, end of parentheses, comma, University of Notre Dame. Right. So it's one line. You manage to get the cum laude in there, your honors. And then if you are someone who is within the 3-year mark of their career journey, you know, in the workforce for less than 2-3 years, you can add the date at the very end in parentheses of when you graduated. So parentheses after University of Notre Dame, parentheses 2020. If you are in progress or enrolled into a Latin and you haven't graduated yet, you can put everything I said, University of Notre Dame, parentheses, in progress, comma, 2022, end of parentheses. Or parentheses, enrolled, comma, 2023, end of parentheses, meaning you're about to start your program and that's your targeted graduation date. So that's kind of how you want to list education. Keep it quick, succinct, matter of fact, don't blow it up too much. Also, say like you're a member of something at school that it relates, maybe you're the American Marketing Association, you could put Bachelor of Science or BS, comma, marketing, parentheses, cum laude. Then you could put that little separator input, American Marketing Association member, end of parentheses, comma, University of Notre Dame. I know that might have been tricky to track, but you can watch this again on YouTube, which, you know, if you need to want to write that out, also, you know, you can listen to it back. Also, feel free to ping me, email me, message me, and I will be glad to share that insight with you in text form. So again, thank you for coming to this week's Jobsticker's Jobseeker Resource Show. And I will see you Tuesday at 2 on Facebook, next Wednesday at 2 here on LinkedIn. Thank you very much and be well, everybody.